Oh, so, okay.
Okay.
For everybody to know, Barb's gonna run the meeting because she's physically in the building.
I'm physically here and I will do my best. So anything, Marilyn, that if I'm missing something, let me know.
Oh,
Okay.
you're gonna do good.
Oops. Deborah's not there.
Deborah's not there. We can continue. We still have a quorum. As
Okay.
long as no one else.
1, 2, 3, yeah, yeah. The one I'm taking care of is in bed, I think. So we're all good.
Okay. Okay, then I will call the meeting to order. Oop, is that Deborah again?
Yeah.
Okay.
She gets a better connection this time.
Should I wait or should we go?
Yeah.
I love that meme that it's like a seance, a modern seance.
Yes,
Yeah.
there she
Have you
is.
seen
Hi,
that?
Deborah.
Hilarious.
Hi.
Focus, focus.
So can you hear me now?
You
Yes.
can.
Okay, I just switched
Right.
over to my,
Oops.
So hi, Deborah. I'm Marilyn Manish-Mucci. We haven't met. I'm sorry we're meeting on Zoom, but
that's
at
all
least
right.
we have that technology.
Yeah, that's right. So it's nice to
Welcome
meet you.
the board.
And hi,
Okay.
everybody else. Sorry I couldn't be there. I'm hanging out in Juneau right now weaving.
Ah, well, that sounds like fun.
Oh,
Deborah,
darn.
I'm Barb Fish and I haven't met you yet either. So it's nice to see you at least online. Okay, is that it? So
That is it.
call the meeting to order and roll call.
Alex McMurray.
Barbara Fish,
Marilyn Manish-Mucci.
Lizzie Thompson.
Just say her name, Deborah O'Gara.
Yep, that's it. You got it. Thank you. Yep, that's it. Okay, approval of the minutes from October 26th. Any discussion we need, or does anybody want to?
Well, I read over them and I wasn't there, so I mean, they look great to me, so I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the
And I
October
second,
meeting.
and I second it. So we need a vote, right?
Yeah, all in favor.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Then, okay, any amendments and approval of the meeting agenda?
So I would like to have one amendment, and it could either be under the director's report or under unfinished business. And people have been asking me about the Monday closure, so I would just like an update, like where we're at on that, et cetera, Tara, please.
Sure, I can
Okay.
do that.
Okay,
Would that be under unfinished business or does it matter?
or under director's report. Good. I didn't know where to put it.
I'll just hit it right up front on the
Okay.
director's report so it doesn't get
Okay.
forgotten.
And I have a question that was asked me. When you get the slip from, when you check out a book, there is a line on the bottom that says you have saved X amount of dollars.
What do you think of it?
Oh, I like it, but can you just say what that is?
Sure, it's just a little add-on that was put on the slip. It was available to all the consortium libraries that we saved that. It's just calculated off the price of the books
Okay,
times how many you have
okay,
checked out.
Yeah.
So it's a return on investment calculator.
yes.
To use the
Okay.
lingo.
And so
Yeah.
is that's only on the slip if you print a slip? Because I haven't seen it before because I've stopped taking receipts, the slip.
Yeah, you need to print a slip.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so have to print one next time, Marilyn, and you can
you
see
bet.
I print one just so I have a bookmark. I don't actually look
it. That's,
at it.
yes, that's what.
Now I'm gonna look at it.
Okay, so we have one amendment, anything else? Okay,
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting, the agenda with the amendment.
I'll second.
okay. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay. Persons to be heard related or unrelated to the agenda. The only thing I can say, he's not here, but someone did come up to me and say, it is so nice to have the water fountain working along with the fireplace.
yay.
Yes, yes, it was, yes, so that's just.
Great.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, he was thrilled.
Good.
Okay, director's report.
Okay, so we'll start with the Monday closure. So short term, yeah, we'll remain closed on Mondays, because in February, we're closing on Monday anyway, and then we have a holiday
Right.
in February. I was thinking of waiting until May, because Kari was going to need to take 6 weeks off. But that has, I've just found out this morning, changed, so I'm gonna take a look at the game plan for that again and try and figure out if we can open a little sooner, like maybe March. But I really don't know, because we still have some of the precarious staffing stuff happening. So it wouldn't be early March even, it would be anything, it would be late March.
Do you want to have it aligned with National Library Week, whenever that is?
That's in April.
Yeah, I'll give that some thought, Barb. It's an interesting idea.
I don't know what week in April it is, but
Yeah. Yeah, so no specifics yet. Yeah, we're just trying to, well, I'll get to that in my report about Beth moving to full-time for a temporary 6-month position.
good.
Right.
To do cross-training. So we're getting a lot of in-house stuff done on Mondays right now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
Okay, so I'll start off with the fact that our library was ranked as a star library again this year. Those of you that have been on the board for a while probably remember that we have been ranked 7 times before. We range from 3 stars to 4 stars. The highest ranking is 5. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 libraries in the state of Alaska that received a star rating this year. And that's pretty consistent from year to year. Some states don't have any libraries that receive any ranking. So
I say
Alaska
woo-hoo,
Bravo.
woo-hoo, woo-hoo.
has exceptional libraries, and it
Yeah.
always shows when they do these rankings. So that ranks us at the top 3% of libraries. And that's based on checkouts, visits, program attendance, and public internet use. And I believe that's pre-COVID numbers. I meant to go and check, so I had that information. So what, I have no idea. I mean, everything kind of got thrown up into the air.
Public internet views, is that
Users,
you?
not abuse, no. It doesn't happen too often anymore. Yeah, so that's exciting, and KFSK plans to do a new story on our
Good.
ranking.
Good.
I'm
Good.
gonna interview with Rachel on Thursday. So we'll do a
Great.
little news story on it, and it was in the borough manager's report too.
And I screenshot that little part and sent it to Orin, and maybe I'll get to do a story on it.
Oh, that'd be great. I would do the story, Lizzie.
And then
That'd
at
be
the
fun.
same time, you can mention the book sale on the 4th of February.
Yes,
If that,
provided she will air it
yes.
before the 4th of
Yeah.
February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so staffing things, Martha and Beth are now certified passport
Great.
agents, which is wonderful.
Mhm.
Good job on them. It's not an easy task. It's so meticulous and detail oriented. And both passed early in the year, and they're now processing applications. And so now we're offering the service more hours every week. Before it was just a very short period of time that Chris was able to
Oh.
do it. There's like another day and a half or something. Don't quote me on that. It's on the Department of State's website and our website, what the hours are.
Okay.
And so it's really a wonderful thing. And also it sort of helps us when people go on vacation or they get sick or they have to leave the office. Doesn't leave us in the situation that you've all seen us in a few times past year. So that's
It's
good.
an odd kind of almost an unlibrary-like service. you
Yes,
know,
it is.
because it's not something that, I mean, it helps an individual out
Yeah.
tremendously once in a while.
Yeah,
Once in a while,
Once in a
but,
while.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's hard to.
yeah,
that's
it's a
good.
tough one. And I'll tell you how it happened that we became Petersburg's passport
Yeah.
agency, just so you know. Years ago, when we were in the old library, so more than 10 years ago now, the Alaska State Court System used to do this. It's a federal government activity, and they're like, well, we don't have time to do this. It's an unfunded mandate for us. We're not doing it anymore. And so they stopped doing it. And so we got a call from the magistrate at that time, Desi, and she said, yikes, what is Petersburg going to do without this service?
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to Chris, and she was like, oh, I'd love to do that. Because she's
Okay.
very detail oriented, and it's
Yeah.
very much her strength. And so we picked up the service, and now it's become this essential
Yes.
thing that we do in
Mhm.
the community. So it kind of is a double-edged sword, but it feels like a better situation now that we have 3 trained agents on staff.
How long does it take is it an hour that somebody has to take to do all the paperwork and everything?
To do the passport?
Yeah.
I never really asked them. I don't think it takes, probably Martha and Beth, it's taking an hour. Chris, probably it takes 20 minutes, but they also have to go to the post office, stand in line. We make a small amount of money off it's a tiny revenue stream for us, but it's not
Yeah.
a significant
Okay.
revenue stream. Yeah. So that's the deal with passports now.
Well, that shows that you take it really seriously to have 3 people.
Yes.
Yeah, and
available.
also
Really good.
just that they were willing to, like,
Yes.
I would never assign that as something for somebody to do because it is so individual, whether or not that's something that would make your hair go gray or something you're interested in. So, yeah, with my part-timers, I don't really want to give them anything that's too stressful because
Right. No.
they're only here 12 hours a week. So Beth, thanks to Steve, our borough manager, he suggested that with the sort of staff disruptions that we had when Chris needed to leave unexpectedly for long periods of time last fall, he said, would you be interested in having a full-time temp?
Yes.
And so I said, yes. And so we were able to hire Beth Lesh into a full-time 6-month, and I should have put this in my report, temporary library tech 1 position. And so Chris is library tech 2. Beth is the first person ever hired into that position besides Chris, tech 1. And so that is wonderful. The only thing that's not so wonderful is that her employment will come to an end on, I think, June 28th. So that's, I'm giving that some thought.
Now, when you say her employment, will come, she would,
She would still stay on.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we've left her, the good point, Barb, we've left her position open, her 12-hour week position open, so she would revert to the 12-hour. That's worst case scenario, she'd revert back to
Yeah.
12, so she's doing fantastic, taking like the proverbial duck to water with the
Yeah.
duties. Chris is training her on all things technical, and we're also going through a documentation process and creating like an internal staff wiki where everybody has access to all sorts of procedural stuff, which we know because Chris and I just feel like Chris and I have been there for so long, Chris 35 years, me 20, it's just between the 2 of us, we just kind of know everything
Yeah.
that needs to be known. And we created this like
wow.
vacuum of information about how the place runs. So we're trying to use this opportunity with Beth to fix that problem.
When is Chris's, what day was she hired?
October something,
October something, okay.
15th or something.
Ooh,
Tara,
Yeah.
so when her term comes, when that 6 months ends, is there any chance of grant, or I'm sure you're looking into all of that?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
is no chance of a grant.
Okay,
And when Beth is away right now, but we're in the budget planning process, so my plan is, so when Beth comes back, because she's got a whole life that she's suddenly working full-time. And to sort of get a sense from her what she would like to see happen.
mm-hmm,
And then I'll take a look at the budget, and ultimately, if it's anything more than 12 hours a week, the budget's gonna go up significantly.
right,
But I'll talk to the borough manager about how feasible that is. So we might go into a budget process with an increased
okay.
staffing number. So just so you're all aware of that, I have not made decisions yet or seen any numbers. I'm gonna wait and talk to Beth and make sure that's actually what she wants to do. But she's sure,
Oh,
sure.
just- Like to say how much I respect how you're always thinking first about what's best for your employees. Like you would
Yes.
never sign passport maybe to someone because it's not for everybody. And I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Good
very
point.
good, yeah.
Well, we've got a very good crew here, and I want to make sure to keep them as long as they want to stay.
You hire good people.
Good people want to work here, it seems
Yeah.
like. so.
Yeah.
You're a good manager. You're a good,
Good manager, yep.
very good.
So our big project for February is that we'll be closing for 4 days for inventory and training. So we're going to inventory the DVD collection, the nonfiction and fiction collections. Those are the behemoths. Those are the big ones. So we haven't done those in a few years. It's way overdue. And as part of that, a closure of staff is also going to attend mandatory borough discrimination, harassment, and bullying awareness training. which I think is fantastic. I'm excited that the borough's making that mandatory for all employees. I don't think in my time here I've seen that happen. And I'm going to also attend a day-long management workshop during that period of time too. That
Wait.
all department heads have to attend.
So how it says borough manager training. So does that mean you're training to be the borough manager?
Oh, as
Oh.
I'm
no,
like, wait.
no, borough training for managers. It should have said
Okay.
that. It's the word.
Okay. That
I
was a
know, I
little
read
bit.
that too.
What?
No,
You don't
definitely.
want that job.
There's a job I would not take for any amount of money.
No.
Exactly.
So some of you are aware, but not everybody, is that we've received a grant, $14,500 grant from the Healthy Communities Program of the Alaska Community Foundation. And so this is it must be the largest programming grant I've seen in years for us. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's specifically directed at programming for all ages. So very cool. So we're able to use a lot of local instructors and their talents, and we're able to pay them a reasonable amount as well, rather than rely on their generosity, which we so often do. So it's exciting. Kari is just going to have a ball this next year, and you're going to see some really already you'll see some pretty fantastic programs unfolding. So excited about that. KFSK's new program for the common good recently featured the library's robotics program and interviewed the student teachers and participants. And they also did one with Deb O'Gara here and Lisa Shramick Adams to talk about the programming that they're providing for the library and the grant funded programs that they're doing. Deborah, do you have anything to contribute about that before I move on?
No, it was, except that it was a lot of fun, and I had never met Lisa before, and I was so intrigued with the class that she was offering that evening. I even came over and took her class.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was fun.
Lisa's doing classes on art process.
On what?
The art process.
Oh,
So how to set your art goals and
wow.
like how to practice as an artist. Okay, so what else? Curiosity Creates, the library's weekly after school program with Andrea Weathers has restarted, and we're able to do that thanks to a generous donation from Chris Norris and the Rasmussen Foundation. And how this works, you might remember this from previous years. Chris has done this for us many times now. She's a former member of the Rasmussen Foundation board, and so when she donates, in this case $500, the Rasmussen board comes and doubles that with a match of $1,000. And so we have $1,500 for Curiosity Creates, which is fantastic. So thank you to Chris and the Rasmussen Foundation for funding that. So now the programming. This is a mouthful. So November and December programs, we have some holiday displays in the front. Marianne Rainey and Pierre Riley both did some really lovely displays. They're still up if you wanted to take a look. And so we had lots of adult programming, Rainforest Writers with Oren Pearson, Cedar Bark Ornament Weaving class with Deb O'Gara, and Knitting Basics and Beyond with Lisa Shramick Adams. Yoga with Karen Malcolm continues. And the Christmas bird count with Brad Hunter also happened during that time. For kids, Kari's Story Time, which is now Stories in Motion. So for those of you that didn't see the name change, to make it just seem like, kids with ants in their pants can come. There. We kind of changed the brand a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so let's see, Curiosity Creates, we just talked about, that's on again every week. Robotics for Kids continues. And let me tell you, all these programs are full to capacity. It's amazing to see the amount of people. It's just like programming is just like ballooned in the best possible way. And so it's been good. I don't know if you guys drive by the parking lot on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday used to be quiet. It is popping in here Saturdays now. Yeah, Kari gets a big crowd for her story times, which is lovely to see. So what's on the roster for January and February? Basic knitting with Lisa. It's happening as we speak. Just scheduled baby massage and mommy care with Jessica Toast.
I love that.
Yeah. fantasy map making for kids with Dan Sullivan and Nico Larson. And manuscript writing with Orrin Pearson, and also freelance 101 for creatives. And that's not just freelance writing, but anybody who freelances with Rachel Cassandra, who's the KFSK reporter. And Mary Ellen's going to do a houseplant gardening workshop series as she pursues her master gardener certification. So that's great. And on Valentine's Day, we're going to launch our winter reading challenge. We've previously done it in January. It was always kind of a weird time. And last year, January was especially a weird time because the Snowmageddon thing that was happening. And so we decided we would just push it off a little bit. And Valentine's Day seems a great time for the theme, which I've written down wrong here. It's actually Build a Better World, which is sort of philanthropy focused. And so participants can complete the reading challenge by either simply reading or doing some good in the world. And we have some challenges that people can do to move along and complete that program. And if they do, they're entered into a prize drawing. And thanks to the Friends, we're able to give two grand prize winners will donate $500 to a local nonprofit of their choice. And so it worked well last year. We're gonna share the love with nonprofits again. And thanks to the Friends for making that possible. Any questions about programming for everyone?
I just think it's fabulous.
What's
Yep.
fantasy map?
Totally.
And Alec asked what fantasy map making was. Imagine, if you guys ever seen the maps that J.R.R. Tolkien did for The
Mhm.
Hobbit?
Yeah,
Okay.
Those are the most well-known fantasy maps.
oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, it will be fun. Okay, so on to maintenance. As somebody mentioned, like Cheryl sounds like
Yes.
mentioned,
Yes.
we did install, it was a long process, but we did install our new water bottle filler fountain in the foyer, and Joseph Quitzlin did a metal backsplash, which is very
It's
striking
beautiful.
and beautiful. And Ty Cummins did the woodworking both around there, around the backsplash, and also the wainscoting behind the front desk. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this vinyl paper that we had put in the building for it's the wainscoting all around the building is this sort of strange striated paper. And behind the front desk, it bubbled up like crazy, and it's been driving me nuts for the last 10 years. And so finally, it's beautiful. It's still around in bubbling in places, but behind the front desk was the absolute worst. So that's nearly done. I should be able to fix that up and be done next Monday. Oh, and that's another thing about the Monday closure too, is we've been doing a lot of this maintenance work has happened during our Monday closures. We've had upper tier recoat our slate tile floors in the entryway, and Mattingly Electric replaced a tile life. I don't know if you guys noticed how much brighter it is in here. It was getting pretty dark. So we hadn't done a major fixture replacement since we opened.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's way bright in here compared to how it used
And
to
it's
be.
good because it's dark outside.
Yes, exactly. We didn't want to go too far into winter with
Yeah.
with the amount of light we had in here. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been trying to take as many opportunities as we can to use those Mondays to have contractors in here finishing stuff up for us. Okay, that's it. Whew, that's a mouthful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wow. Any comments or?
Thanks for noticing the lights. That's like the frog in the boiling pot of water, it just gets darker.
Yeah, we hardly noticed until
Right.
it was all lit up again. And then,
Yeah,
well,
that's really
can't let that
bright.
happen twice.
Okay,
Yeah.
unfinished business, nothing, right? We
Nothing.
covered everything. Okay, new business. The Alaska Community Foundation has recommended these spendable amounts for 2023. Art Education Endowment, 3,164.36, and General Library Endowments, about 6,000. Do you want to explain that, Tara?
Sure. So as you guys know, we have 3 endowments with the Alaska Community
Mhm.
Foundation, the Arts Education Endowment, but also known as unofficially the John McCabe
Right.
Endowment. And then we also have 2, really it's 1 general endowment. It's 2 just because they split these endowments into things that the library puts money into and things that the public put money into, but I combine them all together into general library endowments
Okay.
for the purposes of our discussions. And this year, we normally have much higher spendable amounts than this, but this year it's quite low because of the stock market fluctuations. And so the community foundation has recommended that we spend to protect our principal.
Right,
So we don't spend so much that we knock that down. So it's prudent.
okay,
And so normally I was expecting $8,000 approximately in the arts education endowment. So you kind of get to see the impact that has, but it was still plenty of money for what we need to do.
Fortunately, on page 1, there's the 14,000.
yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And so we're using the arts education, you'll see later in small amounts to match that.
Right,
I'm surprised that that's only $2,000 light from what you would generally expect.
Yeah,
that's not
It's not
bad.
bad. One of the
Yeah.
endowments that one of the general library endowments, they recommended we not spend anything. So it kind of just depends. They've got their financial calculations and we just take them at their word and we want to protect that.
If
balance.
somebody buys a fish on the front, does that go into the,
General library endowment.
and that's still, you can still do that?
You sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tara, on the money that Alec was referring to, the 14,000. So this 9,000, that's on top of that other money? Is that go into the same pool or for programs, or how does that work?
The arts education endowment, yes, on the next agenda item, you'll see I've requested that some money be released from the spendable amount of that fund to match the grant.
Yeah.
But the general library endowment, we don't use that for programming. Actually, we've never used it before. I've just been letting it sit there and grow.
Okay,
And with the idea that, if we needed a new fountain in 5 years and I couldn't find the money for it, we would have money sitting in this general library endowment. So
Okay.
that's the story with that one. That one's sort of like it's like a little nest egg for building repairs that are going to come up the older the building gets.
but the 14, the money, where's the Healthy Community Grants Foundation, that is on top of the 2 here.
Yes,
But they will be going to separate things, not all to programming, or they will all be going to programming?
the arts education endowment and the healthy communities grant goes to programming. But the
Okay.
general library endowments don't. They kind of go to
Yeah.
repair.
You just sort of, hey, yeah, see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions about the endowments?
No.
No,
Okay.
I think in this climate, that's substantial and well done.
Good.
Okay.
Protect the principal, so smart.
I have
Yes.
a question. When we go to B, I have a question.
Okay,
We
we're
are-
going to be, it is requested that the following amounts be released from the Art Education Endowment for Spring Programming. Fantasy map making, $300, manuscript writing, $500, painted medallions, $250, and basket making, $500. What are painted medallions?
Hmm. Well, it's a Scandinavian tradition. P has done this for us before COVID, actually. It was one of our last pre-COVID
Okay.
programs. And there are they're printed on marine plywood, these big discs. And in Scandinavia, they paint these folk art designs
Oh, okay.
on these
yes.
medallions, and then they hang them outside. And if you've ever been to Pia's place, you'll see them in the
Yes.
forest and on the house. And so that's what a painted
Okay.
medallion is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I have a question about the Nico and Dan Sullivan's class.
Yeah.
So how many sessions are they doing? Are they splitting the money, and is it enough money?
I believe it's 1 3-hour session.
Okay.
They're both being paid by the hour for that session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they're going to be able to do that in one session.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So these amounts are the money that is going to each one of the people who is doing the,
Not necessarily.
or-
This
oh,
could be for
okay.
supplies or,
okay.
or instructor fees.
okay.
Yeah.
And,
And
oh, go ahead.
Oh, the
Was-
Kathy, the last one, Kathy Rousseau.
Mhm.
I don't, those of you who weren't on the board, about, I want to say 5 years ago. Maybe 4. Kathy Rousseau is, quite a remarkable, weaver from Ketchikan, basket weaver, and she did a 2-day, 1 evening workshop, with us back then, and we were super impressed with her. And, classes full to capacity. She loved it here. We loved her. I took the class. It was really phenomenal. I'm terrible at it, but I did enjoy it. So we took her up on her offer to come back. And that's who
Oh,
Kathy Rousseau is,
wonderful.
for those of
Okay.
you that don't know. We're also gonna combine that with an exhibit of her work, hopefully, in the
nice.
front area a few weeks before, to kind of let people know
great.
who she is. And she's,
4 years ago when she was here, was she here just for that purpose?
yeah, just for that purpose. Yeah.
Do we need a vote?
Yes, we need a vote.
Okay, and we're voting on, all 4 items.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct. And it's $1,550.
$1,550.
I'll make a motion that we release $1,550 for the art education, from the art education endowment for spring programming.
I'll second.
Good. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
That's everybody. Great, okay.
And
Okay.
not, one question, when is Mary Ellen's classes? Do you know yet?
You know, I don't know. I think the end of February is what I
Okay.
saw tentatively on the calendar.
Yay,
Yeah,
I want to do it.
those will be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay, next item under new business is the 2024 budget calendar is attached for board review. A draft FY 24 library will be presented at the February meeting.
I'm missing a word there, a draft FY 24 library budget.
Budget,
Sorry.
okay, I have missed that. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank you. And, okay, so is there anything that's out of the ordinary or anything on there that is new?
For the calendar, no, it's pretty much exactly
Okay.
what you would expect to see. At our next meeting, I'll bring a draft budget to you guys.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it. And we talked about already some of there are some increases. Our utilities costs have been going up a little bit.
Yeah,
Not a ton, but enough that we can't absorb that into our budget the way we have been. I've just been kind of camouflaging it with other parts of the budget, but I think it's time for that to go up a little bit. So there's going to be, it'll be a slightly bigger budget. It always
Okay.
is, just because of healthcare insurance
Yeah.
and things like that. But yeah, so I don't expect major changes. If there's a major change, I suspect it'll be in staffing. I'm not sure what that's going to look like.
Sorry, I finally found.
You found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, is there any discussion on this, or there's nothing we have to vote on?
There's nothing we have to
Okay.
vote on. Just wanted to let you know it's
Okay.
in progress. And if you guys have any comments, let me know.
Okay. Any comments? Yeah. If not, we're going to D. A revised library customer code of conduct policy is attached. The original policy is also attached.
So the nice looking policy is the original policy.
yeah.
Big font.
The big font, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
I like how you highlighted the, in the, what were the new part.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it's fleshed out from the other one, but it's the gist of it is the same. But I think it needed to be we tried to
Good.
we tried to make it simple in this last one, but I think it's almost too simple. So this is very much, the new one's modeled on the Juneau Public Libraries.
Okay.
so what is really different except animals?
That is the main one that is different. Staff, that's what brought it to light, is staff
Mhm.
have had some strange and slightly uncomfortable experiences surrounding service animals.
Yeah.
So we're putting this in, but generally for libraries, we just have to take people at their word. And there's a joke in libraries, it's like if someone has a miniature pony and and they say it's a service animal, it's a service animal.
They do that on airplanes also.
Yes,
Yeah.
so, we would never take someone to task. I mean, and I should never say never. I've told stuff, I would hesitate to ever take anybody to task. Specifically because of the service animal. Sometimes in our recent situations, it's actually been the patron that's being difficult, not the animal. And so we do actually have a policy about that. So this is a very delicate kind of issue, difficult to enforce, but I thought it would just be helpful to have something in the policy that gave us somewhere to start from. So
Tara, I have a quick question on just the animals one. Would it be simpler to just say, bringing animals in, or only service animals are allowed that are compliant with the, ADA, and take out the other verbiage about individually trained and performed for the individual? I'm just, because sometimes the service animal, anyway, I think that might already be part of the ADA regulations or eligibility for that. And it just cuts the
right.
amount of words.
yeah,
But
no, that's
I haven't read the ADA for a really long time. So I'm not sure about that.
we could rephrase it. Let's see. Inappropriate behaviors include bringing animals into any public area except service animals
That are
as
in,
defined.
yeah.
As defined by the Americans with Disabilities Act regulation. Does that?
Right. That
Okay, that's a great idea. So
Mhm.
we'll need to vote on that.
Oh, okay. I do like the word trained in there, though. I mean, that is real obvious that it has to be and maybe that's in the ADA already,
I
but
can easily say except trained service animals.
there you go. Yeah, okay. So.
You
wanna
can't
read
put
that
trained owners. No.
You want to read that again, Tara, when you?
Sure.
Okay,
I can do that twice.
yeah.
So inappropriate behaviors include bringing animals into any public area except trained service animals that are in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act regulations.
I like it.
That work?
I have never had a service animal or known anyone, and I'm just wondering if it's actually legit, wouldn't they have something like, you actually go to the DMV and you get the handicap thing for your car?
Like
It
those
seems
little
to
things that
me-
dogs wear.
The dog wears the
Sometimes
little
dogs wear-
cover that says
Right,
trained.
but you can buy those on Amazon.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about something from.
They
Like a
have-
license.
They do
Yeah.
have those, but we're really not supposed to ask for them to
Yeah.
present it. We should really avoid that.
What if, I'm just saying, if you do need an out, if there's someone who's clearly using it,
Mhm.
you could say something along the lines of, after 3 offenses, we will ask to see documentation.
Yeah, the sort of thing I'd want to bring to the borough attorney before I
Yes.
would put that in
Yeah,
writing.
yep. I'm just
And I
saying,
think-
I don't know.
And I
I
think for the most part, we don't have any problems with the service animals. that-
So your firewall may be a little porous, but it's not a big problem this time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a
I
huge
just-
problem. In fact, patron behavior is a much bigger problem than animal behavior.
Yeah.
Although it's not bad right now, knock wood.
Yeah.
We have our moments.
it's the people that are reading out loud constantly.
I know. I wish that were the worst of it. So.
Okay, so we are voting on having the proposed revision as is, except for the animal part is going to be the new sentence that you just read. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, we need, okay,
I so move.
I'll second it.
okay. Okay, and we need a vote. I'm a, aye,
Aye.
okay, well done.
Now that we've approved that, I had a question about the old policy that said that shirts and shoes had to be, and it made me chuckle when I thought it didn't say pants. What are you gonna do if somebody walks in with no pants on?
Well, now that's covered. That's covered because we have inappropriate attire. We say inappropriate
Inappropriate attire.
attire instead, so.
And it's okay to wear a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's funny you should say that because Lyle Lovett has a new song that talks about, how, you know, Jesus didn't wear
That's right, yep.
pants. Just saying.
Anything else on anything we've already done so far? Yeah,
Well, down on page 1 again, where it says library has received the 14. So I was wondering, how did you hear about that?
The grant?
Yes, the opportunity.
You know, I'm just sort of hooked into the Alaska Community Foundation's announcements. I don't remember.
So it came across your desk.
Came across my
Yeah,
desk, and I know, they're generally, we were successful in our funding request with them.
Mhm.
Although this grant is brand new, and who knows if they'll have it again. I hope so.
yeah.
And they'll get an application from us, that's for sure.
Do you have like a, for the community foundations, do you have a form letter, application?
Not really, no.
So you just gotta kind of wing it
I
and.
kind of like, this one was pretty
Okay.
new, just because we're, the whole post-COVID thing, we're just a different place.
So you
Yeah,
have to
I got you.
request a grant, for this particular grant, you've got to put it together.
Yeah,
from scratch.
Well done.
How big is it?
in terms of
How many pages?
many pages, it's all online.
Oh.
It's a couple thousand words maybe total.
Oh,
They make you keep it short.
great.
I mean, that
Good.
includes budget and timeline and all
Mhm.
that other stuff, but.
In order to apply for this, do you have to present them with material that you research, like facts and figures from the library?
Some facts and figures, mostly just narrative about what we hope to achieve and why there's a need for it in our community and why the library is the right entity to do the programming and that kind of stuff.
What kind of competition do you think that there is for?
I have no idea. I have a feeling that one got a lot of applications because it was such an unusual grant. You don't normally see such large amounts of money available just for programming in basically arts and culture.
Do you slide that 5-star rating in there?
Because we didn't receive it in the last
Yeah.
couple of years. I didn't say anything about the star rating. Yeah.
But you can the next.
I
one.
will the next time. No, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's just such a substantial thing. I just was wondering,
Yes.
how much effort you had to put into it.
It's a fair amount, but I've written a lot of grants for the library in
Yeah.
my 20 years, so it comes kind of easily. And actually, I like doing it. It's fun.
And you're good at it,
It's something
obviously.
that I enjoy. So,
Yeah.
yeah, wasn't really that much work.
Very successful.
Yeah. Okay, on to number 8, discussion items. Very sad to report that the Amazon Smile is being discontinued. However, we have received, I'm sure by the time it is February, it will be close to, if not over $2,000 during the program. And I don't know, I have the email that was sent out. If anybody wants to read it, I can email it to anybody why they are doing this. They just don't feel that it's worth the effort and the money. They can use that funds elsewhere.
I'm sure they could.
And
It's
Barb,
millions of dollars, yes.
anybody that has Amazon Prime got that email, because I got the
Oh,
email.
good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and we got it because we use it. I'm assuming
Right.
we don't have Amazon Prime, so.
Right,
Okay.
and people that use it, yes.
Yeah, okay. Before we talk about the next book sale, the one December 3rd, we did very well. The we had an ad in the paper. I know everybody did a good job getting the word out. There's flyers all over town. And we made $457 from
That's
that
good.
book sale. Yeah. And the one thing is that silent auction is working really well because everything we sell is a minimum of $5. And we would have gotten $1 for it. And there's a lot of bidding going on
Oh,
in
right.
some of them. So it's adding $100 or
Wow.
$200 to each book sale.
Good job, Barb.
Thank you, Marilyn. Yes, devious, yes, yeah. So the next book sale is February 4th. There will be an ad in this Thursday's paper, a very small ad, and there's flyers all over town. Cindy and I put them up. And I'm expecting that we will do as well, hopefully in February, that we did in December. And I don't know when the next book sale will be. I'm going to be gone most of February. And I don't know if we should wait until, Marilyn, we can discuss this later, until National Library Week or whatever. Anyway,
Right.
so if anybody asks, there will be another one, but we're not sure of the exact date.
Okay.
Okay. Also, at the last Friends meeting, we decided to, Marilyn, help me if I get the amount wrong. I think the Friends donated $500 to the elementary library and the high school library, $500 that we gave to the bookstore, and they are able to then pick out what books they would like to add to their library from the bookstore.
Right.
And we got a very nice thank you card from Nancy of a thank you, appreciating how we did that we are using the local business to buy books.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, what we talked about it, and Mary, like Mary Ellen, when she was librarian and stuff, it was really like the Giving Tree is a really cool thing to get the community involved, but it also puts a lot of work on the librarian because they have to figure out different books to put on the library tree, or on the Giving Tree. So that's how it came about that we decided, if they just had a pot to draw from when they needed something, that would work better for everybody. And that's how that came about, with, advice from librarians. Probably,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that it's
So community building and cool
Yes.
to
Right.
support things like that.
Marilyn, anything else on the Friends that I haven't mentioned that you
Well,
can
we
think
are
of?
going to try and do something for national, but we haven't
Yes.
figured it out yet.
And when, do you know when that is exactly? Because I do not.
I think it's the second week of April, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, we need to look that up.
Yeah, and I would think that our book sale will be somewhere at that time.
Right.
We need to look that up. Yeah, okay. Okay, next book sale was February 4th. Anything else about the Friends? Okay, B, it was mentioned at a prior meeting that the library is part of a 2-year research project with IMLS. This question is the first of others that will be asked in the coming months to help prepare us for the project. What are the most pressing issues facing our community? Yeah,
Tara, so I don't have to look it up again. I did read it in the minutes, but remind us of what IMLS is.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't write
yeah,
that out.
good.
Institute for Museum and Library Services.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
one of 17 libraries, small rural libraries in the country that have been selected to be part of this.
One of 17?
Yeah, there's.
Wow.
I think there's 3 or 4 small groups of us, and we meet every month, and
Oh, wow.
these incredible researchers take us through this process in little tiny bite-sized pieces. So we're not overwhelmed by it because it's a
That's a lot of pressure.
it's a level
Yeah,
of
no kidding.
research and statistical analysis and community modeling that is above my head. think it's like PhD stuff, so they're helping sort of guide us with our practical experience. We're basically counterbalancing the academic side of the project.
And this is specifically for small libraries?
Specifically for small libraries, so 3,000 people. We're small rural libraries like
Okay.
ours. Yeah,
Well, after reading that, I just pulled up on the website our mission statement.
mhm,
And I thought, okay, our mission statement is short and sweet. We connect you to the world of ideas.
mhm.
And I think we're doing a really good job of doing that, especially with all the programming that you and Kari are doing. I mean, it's amazing, the programming. And I think that is a great community effort. So
Yeah.
hopefully they realize, I don't know if other libraries do as much programming as we do.
Yeah. My question for you guys would be like, so if we talk about pressing issues,
Mhm.
where I will go with that and where the research will go with that. And where the library will go with that ultimately is how can we align what we're doing even more closely with specifically with the issues facing our community.
And
Well,
you,
I think- what issues are facing our community?
So what issues are facing our community?
you mean overall general, like we're talking about housing, we're talking
talking-
about childcare,
Issues
those are
facing-
the issues.
Alaska Reads.
Alaska Reads.
Yeah.
So those are, I mean, those are issues that are facing our community. And is it something that I don't want to say involves the library because we know it does, but yeah.
Yes.
How can the
Mhm.
library make housing better?
Well,
Right.
that's a question. Like I said, the researchers are
Yeah.
doing this for us
Right.
in bite-sized project, but we're doing this in steps. So we don't have, that's a problem we don't need to solve today.
Okay,
We are just wondering, we're just looking at Petersburg, Alaska, not even really thinking about the library. What
Mhm.
are the most pressing issues facing our community?
well, I think housing,
Good job.
childcare, and what Lizzie said, Alaska Reads.
Okay,
That's what, I mean, those are the things that come to the top of my head.
Well, think about
Maybe.
ocean health, because ocean health in the atmosphere and the climate change part of it is.
Wait, I
really-
did, I can't hear him. Very
I
good.
can't understand anything Alex is saying either. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah,
Ocean health,
Ocean health, the climate,
ocean health. Okay, gotcha.
ocean
Oh,
health.
yeah, that
yes.
is really huge. I mean, I really wonder what's gonna happen with the fishing industry if
The
climate-
fishing industry, yes, the fishing industry is a huge subject for us.
you know, that's the thing, is that it's kind of like people. Like our motto or our mission statement, you know, condensed from a lot of different ideas, so it's got
Yeah.
really powerful. So it's up to somebody else, I mean, if you want to be informed or if you're interested, to kind of expand on it. Like that, and so when you say ocean health, I think you know, that gets into a lot of people's cupboards and closets, you know, as far as fishing and sea level rise, temperature, glaciers,
Education.
all
Well,
everything
it's,
that.
The climate,
and if we don't have a healthy fishing industry, the housing crisis and the childcare crisis will get worse.
yes.
Because fishing drives Petersburg.
Mhm.
It's
And
the bottom
and-
line.
Under fishing, does processing of the fish need to be a separate category, or is that all under fishing?
That's all together.
That's all together,
The industry.
fishing industry,
Yeah.
okay. How about tourism? Tourism, as we discovered this summer, not having a book sale and having all the carts out all the time, that was a huge. Well, the Friends, it was a moneymaker, and how does tourism affect the town?
So what issues about tourism are pressing?
Right.
Do we have enough infrastructure for
Mhm.
Bathrooms.
healthy tourism industry?
Right. No, that's good, Barb. That's exactly right. Do we?
Yeah,
As because if we don't have a good infrastructure, we can't encourage any more boats that
Right.
are already coming, or it
Mhm.
won't be fun for anybody.
Right. Now, we have friends who are coming in July, and they're coming for 3 weeks and they wanted a place to stay. So I was able to find B and Bs and that for them to stay at. But Mayfest, I think, is probably sold out. And that's an issue if somebody, if, you know, wants to come here during a major tourism event, can they find a place to stay?
Well, yeah, that's a hard one because you
I
can't
know,
build a facility for, you know, something that happens once or twice a year.
yes, right, right.
Called planning ahead.
That's exactly right.
I remember there was quite a bit of discussion about people coming to town in organized groups and how, and whether or not to take that into consideration.
Yes,
When the library was built, the issues were, where can you have
mhm,
like a group of fisheries people come to town and stay? And
right.
I even remember there were some studies done, you know, about how many people could come to town, under what circumstances.
Yes, there was.
The
I think
Ocean
that-
Beauty bunkhouse
Yes.
that the borough should buy and make into a
Yes.
housing complex. Small little apartments to rent
Yes.
out to. That's my idea.
That's really, that is true.
Well,
And
well,
then-
along with that, Marilyn, a pressing issue is the fact that there are buildings and structures that are empty, and what can we do with those? Like the Ocean Beauty bunkhouse. That's a huge
Yes.
problem.
Yeah.
Issue.
Yeah. How many pressing issues did they want, Tara?
Whatever we could come up with. And actually, you know, I asked the staff the same question
Yeah.
and you guys have already come up with more.
Oh, well,
So that's good.
we have a
Good.
purpose.
Yeah, and I would add the aging of our population
Yes.
to that as well.
Yep.
Because I
Oh,
think.
I
that we're-
have one.
Lizzie?
Yep.
I feel like we have a crisis with, you know, like we could use another plumber or two. We could use another
Oh, yes.
electrician or two. We could
Yes.
use another mechanic or
Yes.
two. We could use more refrigeration guys.
Diesel mechanic, both.
Diesel mechanics.
We
all
need-
these all these welders, all those
Yes.
guys are like constantly being
Yes.
heckled by people who want them to do things. I mean, that speaks directly back to the housing crisis, but
Professional services.
Yeah,
or having
professional
it-
services.
Well,
Mhm.
our service people. I mean, yeah. Ugh.
tradespeople,
Yes, you're
It's-
right, Lizzie, it's huge.
massage therapists, therapists. All those people are as busy as they want to be.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Even busier because they're like having to live with the guilt of not being able to satisfy everybody who needs them right now.
Mhm. Yeah,
So I think that hits it right on the nose is Petersburg needs more just general contractors.
Mhm.
People who
yes,
actually
yes.
fix-
But the general contractors
I've been
need.
on a list for 3 years for a new roof and I still don't have a new roof.
Oh
So-
my
We
God.
we need more roofers.
I'll
We,
send you-
anyway, general contractor and fixing people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bonded contractors or.
Is
yeah.
another dentist.
Mhm, yeah.
Dentists, yeah.
Oh, yes,
To do that, we need housing. So it all goes back. to
Goes big circle. Yeah,
Yep.
yep. Empty buildings. Yeah.
that could be apartments.
Yes, it could.
They don't have to be big apartments. They could be, you know, smaller ones, the starter apartments or whatever. Anyway. I don't know.
Yep.
It's crazy. Hey, you guys are doing good. We're doing some good ideas for this. They're probably gonna get their socks blown off.
We're
So,
the problem children in the group.
Yeah.
If we come up with something else, do you
trouble.
want us to email you or text you other ideas?
Yeah, if you think of something else, think I have till the end of the week to get it in for
Okay.
this particular assignment that I'm working on. But I think that this is gonna be really helpful when we get into planning for the
Yeah.
future of the library
Right,
as well.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, which reminds me then, this isn't even on the agenda. I didn't even think about it, but we had talked, Tara, about the training that we did, like we did with the Haynes, the gals from Haynes, where it
Yeah.
was the,
Service
the
plan.
board
Service.
and yeah, your staff. And we
Yep.
talked
Yes.
about maybe being able to do that again.
Yeah.
Yes, it's on, and this is great. We're laying the groundwork actually with
Mhm.
conversations like this.
Okay.
And then the actual community-based research that we're gonna, well, me and I may draw you guys into this too,
Yeah.
that we're gonna be doing in the next year or so will sort of be the segue into hiring a facilitator, and I have one in mind potentially that I'll approach in the next 6 months or so. And then we'll go through the sort of joint service planning
Cool, good,
sessions,
Yeah.
not unlike what we did with the Haynes
right,
consultants way back.
Good.
when. Yeah, so this is
Good.
gonna lead into that. I mean, it's known as a strategic planning process, but we don't call it strategic planning. We call it service planning. We call it future planning. Because we don't want it to be a strategic plan that sits on the shelf.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
wasn't last time and we don't want it to be again. So it's just
Action
like
plan.
an action,
Right.
exactly. It's an action plan where
Yeah.
staff and the board get together and we hash out what we can do and what we want to do and make it align with some of these needs we see in the community.
okay.
So
great.
It's on the
Okay, that's
horizon.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I would like to volunteer to write a thank you note to Martha and Beth. Thank you notes for taking that training.
Yes,
That'd be great, Lizzie.
yes. And you're right,
And
great,
do
thank you.
do we need a thank you note to Chris Norris also?
Yes.
That would be a very good idea.
Mhm.
Yes.
And thanks, Lizzie.
Yeah, and you can thank her for just generally being an incredibly generous supporter. Not
Yes.
just one thing, but it's
Mhm.
been many years she's done this for us.
Thank you for thinking of that, Lizzie.
And a
Yes.
congratulations card to the general staff for the star rating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I was thinking when, but I don't know, is
Yeah.
that something friends would consider like a bouquet? I don't know, what would be a good actual gift for them? Maybe not a bouquet because you already
Hey.
have flowers.
I'll get in touch with Sue Paulson and
Yes,
our little
Yes.
foursome will figure out
Yes.
something appropriate for the staff.
flowers actually would be nice to have up on, anyway, yes, we
Flowers
will
would be
get.
lovely.
Barb,
Flowers
you and
would
I
be
could,
really
Barb,
nice.
you and I could
Yes.
talk, because I have a little bit different idea.
Okay,
Just
that's
came
fine.
to my brain.
Keep me in the loop because the
Yes.
card can go with it.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, okay, okay. Okay, anything else?
I think we had a
Next-
fabulous meeting.
Yeah,
Next meeting. Okay, and the next meeting is February 22nd, and I will not be here, but that's.
So
good.
is there a way that we could be meeting on a different day than Wednesday? I just started a new job and I'm gonna have
Oh,
classes on Wednesdays.
yes,
Okay.
I'm flexible.
I'm flexible.
I-
Mondays or
I'm
Fridays
flexible.
are really good.
I'm sorry, what day did you?
Either Monday or Friday.
Oh, Monday.
February 22nd is a Wednesday, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, it's a Wednesday.
Okay.
How about the Monday?
I
How about
prefer Monday because, yeah,
Okay.
I work at the Pylon on Friday and
Monday works for me too. Mondays work.
Mondays are okay.
So that would
And
make it the last Monday of the month. I believe. Let me look at what the borough defines as when
Okay.
we meet.
If you have it if you have it after March 9th, I will be here. If that,
Okay,
in your
well,
plan.
I'll call for quorum 2 weeks before the meeting.
Yeah, okay,
And then we can adjust as scheduled.
Yeah.
There's a
okay.
good chance that I won't be available.
Okay, and I actually want to remind you guys, pre-Zoom and COVID and all that, when you were out of town, you weren't obligated to attend the meetings, and it's really
Right.
wonderful that everybody's doing that, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to remind everybody, it's okay to not attend every meeting
well, if
if
you're,
you're out of town.
if you're having
So
a
it-
medical procedure at
Well,
that time,
especially-
it's
yeah.
difficult.
But really, it's up to your discretion. It's totally fine. Don't
So-
feel obligated to dial in via Zoom
Yeah.
unless
So-
you really want to.
Tara, does it say that we usually meet the last week of the month? Is that how it's?
I can't remember off the top of my head if it's the
So-
fourth Wednesday or the last Wednesday.
Okay, I can't remember if it's like for sure Wednesday, because we actually have had it on different days.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this would change our regular meeting time, so we would need to update the borough clerk. and
Right,
Yes,
gotcha,
change
gotcha.
our website.
Right.
Yeah, but we often don't even do it on the regular times because we
Yeah.
want to get a quorum.
Right.
Does Monday work for you? Monday works for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, good, okay.
I would
I
kind
gotta
of like to
go.
have it.
Really good to see you guys. Oh, we haven't adjourned, sorry.
Wait,
It's okay.
what are you saying? Have it at noon still?
Yeah, if Gina were involved with this conversation,
Yes.
I wouldn't mind changing it to like 11 or 1 or something, but I don't know how that works for everybody.
It works, anytime is okay for me, doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay, so when it comes time to actually pick a date and call for
Yeah.
quorum, I will put that out to everybody. And
Okay.
then we can decide as a
Okay.
group then.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
okay,
make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
A second.
good, yay, okay, good meeting.
All righty.
Yeah, I have a sheet of
So-
paper here.
So.
I'm gonna sign
Barb-
off now. Thanks.
Okay,
Okay.
nice to meet you, Deborah. So, wait, Tara,
Yes.
I wanted to tell you and Barb, you have to give me an atta girl because I finally figured out